Hello, everyone. Welcome. This is Tom McCaffrey. This is Trial and Terrors. That's the new name of this channel. So please subscribe. I think it's down there, the button, if I'm pointing correctly. Please like this video. Please tell everyone. Okay, so the Johnny Depp trial is finally back, which is great because I was getting very bored. They had a week off. That was just way too much. And it's getting really good now because Amber Heard took the stand again today, and they're getting into the cross-examination, which is when it's going to get really spicy. Okay, so there's a few things that have... First thing I'm noticing is Amber Heard, she just keeps looking at the jury after every answer, which I'm assuming she's been trained to do. I guess that was kind of the advice she was given. But sometimes I don't know how effective that's going to be, because it almost looks like she's sucking up to the jury a little bit too much. But I guess like she's making eye contact with all of them to kind of maybe seduce them in a way, because literally every answer, it's like they'll be asking it from like over there, and then the jury's over here and they're like, so your name is Amber Heard, right? And she's like, yes, that's right, my name is Amber Heard, yeah. So did you go out with Johnny Depp? Yes, I went out with Johnny Depp. It's like, do you need every single time to look at the jury? Like, they're like, I like her. She really acknowledges that I'm here. You know what? I'm going to say she was abused. So that's one thing. And then there's a big thing, because they have one of Johnny Depp's female lawyers cross-examining her, which a very deliberate move, because, I just think it would be bad optics if they had a dude badgering Amber Heard on the stand. Because this is all about, she's claiming abuse, so if you just had a dude in court in front of the jury abusing a woman, abusing her, wouldn't look good. So, I don't, this is the first day of the cross-examination, and I don't know how good a job she's doing. I mean, it just started, but she made a comment early on about the lawyer to Amber Heard, like, Mr. Depp has not looked at you this entire trial, right? And she's like, no, he has not. And she's like, the lawyer's like, and you know why that is, right? And Amber Heard said something like, yeah, I know why it is. And then the lawyer's like, because he promised you that you would never see his eyes again. And I was like, is that really why he's not looking? Because they play audio of like one of their last times together, and they're like fighting. I guess she's grabbing him or something. It sounds like she's still into him. And he's like, you will never see my eyes again. That's the big punishment. So I guess that's why he's not looking, like he's just like this the whole time. I made a promise, never again, my eyes. Damn you, Johnny. You're really hitting her where it hurts. Like, how vain is he about his eyes? Like, how amazing does he think his eyes are? You will never see these puppies ever again. Take your last look. Please. You won't ever see them again, except for when you see any movie that I'm in, because you can see them prominently, my eyes. I'm sure she really misses the eyes. I'm sure that's the big issue she's having right now. I need more eye looks. But I think it's like he's not looking at her because like he probably hates her, and he probably just doesn't want to have eye contact with her. Not because he's like taken away her eye access. You have no more eye access to me. Then they had this really annoying part, this exchange, the lawyer and Amber Heard, where they're going after, Amber Heard, I guess, got $7 million in the divorce, which doesn't sound like a lot, because I thought he had like $800 million. But still, I mean, it's not bad for being married to Johnny Depp. Like, imagine, like, you get to marry Johnny Depp, and then, like, you get $7 million for not being with him anymore. I just got $7 million. What for? Oh, I had to be married to Johnny Depp. Oh, really? A lot of chicks are like, I would have done that for free and, like, stayed with him and not crapped on his bed. Can't wait to get to that. I think that's coming up. They kind of teased it a little bit. She already kind of set the scene a little bit. She was talking about their dog having problems with his bowels or something. So we can see where this is headed. They had this thing where she got $7 million in the divorce apparently, and she made a big deal about not wanting the money. I guess because she's so, I don't know what, a big thing about like, I don't want that money. I don't want it. Because she like hates him so much. I guess she doesn't look like she's a gold digger or something. But apparently she made a big deal about like donating it to charities, like the ACLU and another one. She was going to like split it in half to these two charities or these two organizations. And apparently she never gave the money. So she had said in interviews that she had like donated all the money because she didn't want it. And then so the lawyer's like, you said that you donated this money to the ACLU and other organizations because you didn't want it. She's like, yes, that's correct. She's like, but you didn't donate. She's like, no, that's incorrect. I did donate it. I did. No, she goes, I did. And she's like, you did donate it? And she's like, yeah, I pledged it. She's like, yeah, I'm not asking you if you pledged it. I'm asking if you donated it. She's like, well, I pledged it. So they just keep going back and forth with the word, pledge and donate. She's saying she pledged it, which basically I guess means she said she was going to pay it, but then didn't give the money. So I would love to use that excuse when I didn't like give the money for things. Sir, where's your rent? You haven't paid your rent for the last year. Yeah, no, I pledged it. You pledged it? Yeah, I pledged that I was going to give you the rent, remember? Right, but you didn't give it to me. I know, because there's some things stopping me. But I pledged it. I pledged that I was going to do it. That's what she's claiming, because then she's like, well, you didn't donate it or pay it. She's like, no, I did it because I wasn't able to. Or so, I don't know, she's basically saying she wasn't able to. I thought that went on a little too long. I thought the lawyer harped on that too long. Because it's like, we get it. Like, she didn't do it. All right? She, like, said she was going to do it and then didn't do it. And she's like, did you do that? Did you talk about that in interviews because you wanted to look good? It's like, no, I didn't do it because I wanted to look good. Of course, like, that's what going in interviews is for when you're famous. No, I said it because I wanted to look bad. So this is another big thing that came on after the pledge donate thing, which I swear went on for like 20, 30 minutes. And she's like, well, I pledged it. You didn't donate it. I did. I thought donate and pledge were the same thing. Did you give the money? No. I know I just talked about that, but I just think that's funny. So, she's been talking for like a week about how Johnny Depp punched her in the face repeatedly, like broke her nose and like made her split her lip and she was bleeding and hit her in the face repeatedly. Which I'm not saying I don't believe, but I don't know. And showing pictures. And then they got into her injuries, and they're basically like, you said that he hit you in the face repeatedly, and then the lawyer said, and Johnny often wears huge rings, right, like very heavy, big rings, and she's like, that's, first of all, that's been, she looks at the jury. So Johnny always wears these huge, clunky, huge rings, right, that are very sharp and heavy or something like that. And she's like, yes, that's been my experience of him. So he always wears them, right? Yes, that's been my experience of him. First of all, that's such a weird thing to say. He wears rings a lot. Yes, my experience of him has been he wears rings. And then they cut to Johnny Depp, and he's he's going out of his way to make sure the jury sees that he has rings on. I'm sure he's wearing like extra heavy rings. He basically has like brass knuckles on. Like, yes, I just wear brass knuckles every day in my life. So they're like, yeah, so you said he hit you in the face repeatedly, and then they show a picture of her, and like she just has like one little bump. Yeah. And they're like, well, how could, and then you said like he broke your nose, and she's like, yeah, and then they're like, well, here's a picture of the next day, and then they just show her, she's like, First of all, she just looks like fine. She's not in a bad mood, or like she doesn't look like she just got beaten up yesterday. And like she's like, yes, my nose was broken, or if I felt like it was broken, and my lip was split. Like then she's like, my lip got split the night before, and anytime I moved it, like blood came out. And then they're like, okay, this is a picture from the next night. She's like I'm not even kidding. That's literally the picture. She's like it couldn't be any more like her lip not being split. And she's like, yes, I'm wearing makeup. So I think this looked really bad for her, because they did make a point of saying that he always has these huge rings on. She even, conceded to that. But the injuries are not consistent with that, because they even showed like when he had grabbed her, like at the side of her arm, there was a bruise. But it didn't look like, I don't know, like if you had these huge, heavy, bulky rings on, look kind of sharp, I think there'd be more than a bruise. And also on her face and the lip, and just, she's in an interview that, she said it felt like, she's like, I felt like my nose was broken. She's not kind of admitting that it was broken, but she's like, I felt like it was broken. But then they show her on like the James Corden show, and she's just kind of like, yeah, how's it going? And her nose is like fine. So, I mean, she must have anticipated that was going to happen, and I guess, they just kept telling her. I guess you can cover something up with makeup, but I don't know, like, to that extent. I think this all just basically comes down to, can she get a couple of people on the jury on her side? And I think she is doing a pretty good job of, at least so far in the cross-examination, not backing down and not being too aggressive, and kind of when they're making points that make her look bad, her just kind of not having strong reactions to it, just being like. And she's also doing a really good thing where they're like, she throws in that he beat her like with every answer. She just kind of throws it in, which I'm sure they trained her to do. Like, any chance you get, just make sure you say, he beat me, he's an abuser. Like they'll be like, so your name is Amber Heard, right? She's like, yes, my name is Amber Heard, and Johnny Depp is an abuser, and he beat me. Yeah, we didn't ask anything about that. So, are you ready to break for lunch, Amber? Yes, Johnny Depp beat me. Johnny Depp is an abuser. Yes, we just want to know if you're hungry and want to stop. But she was bringing that up a lot. The whole like, Johnny, yeah, she's like, and he allegedly beat you. He did beat me, because he did beat me in the face. So you're an actress, right? Yes, Johnny Depp did hit me in the face repeatedly and break my nose. So she's doing a good job of getting that. She might be overdoing it a little bit, because it seems like the jury's like, all right, we get it. Like, he beat you, right? He hit you in the face. And, they were showing pictures of her today again. And it does look like there are some marks on her face. So I don't know, it might be a thing where maybe something happened and she's just kind of, not remembering it like in a more dramatic fashion than it actually happened, or maybe in a more violent way that it, like she's not remembering it the way it happened, or she's embellishing it. But that's where I struggle with this, because it's hard for me to believe that she's making this up completely, like all of it, just as this scheme to get him. But I guess the whole thing is, this all started from the op-ed that she wrote for the Washington Post, where she didn't even say his name though, but she said, oh, I was in an abusive relationship, and I guess that's what ruined it. And then, of course, they went to the greatest hits, that video. I mean, it's kind of weird that video is the only thing they have of him, being violent, where, he does look kind of unhinged. He just I don't know that he looks unhinged in the video, where he's like drunk and in the morning he's literally dressed like Jack Sparrow, kind of. He's wearing like cowboy hat and sunglasses, and I mean, it's like his mornings are just like these weird, they just look like not a normal morning. He wakes up and he puts on his cowboy hat and sunglasses and cowboy shirt and vest, and breaks some cabinets, throws some glasses into the sink, pours like a huge glass of wine. But that's all they really have. And then he finds out that she's taping him, and he just kind of grabs the phone, he just doesn't hit her. But I feel like that would be a situation where he would hit her from what I'm hearing. But I don't know, it does seem weird that there's not more video of him doing that, or even any audio, because she clearly had the idea to like get proof of it, to get proof of him being abusive. So that seems a little suspicious to me, that she obviously had the idea to do something like that, to, you know, have the forethought to catch him in the act a little bit. And there's nothing beyond just breaking the cabinets. And then they brought up too, again, I've talked about this, how like a big thing they were doing was, you know, Amber Heard's side, the defense, was showing pictures of Johnny Depp like passed out, like on the floor, you know, but which I thought was an odd way to prove that he was an abusive husband. You know, like I didn't know how that supported their claim at all. They're like, this guy, you know, he's been beating her up, you know, for years. He beat her up for years and broke her nose. Well, look, like, do you have any proof? Yeah, look at the shot of him. He fell asleep while he was eating ice cream. Look, see? What more do you need? Yeah, he's just asleep there. That doesn't look like he's very abusive. I know, but he's tired from being abusive, and you know, I got a picture of it. And they said today, they're like, so why do you have so many pictures of him passed out? Kind of being like, so you're just you know, clearly you're like into documenting him doing horrible things or looking like a jackass, or like you're taking, you know, you're documenting him looking bad. Why didn't you document him hitting you in the face, or like press record an audio thing? Because from what she's saying, it sounds like he just hit her in the face every fucking day for anything she did. There's just so many stories, stacked on story after story, which I had no idea. I always thought it was just like there was like a one-time or couple-time claim. But the other thing I think that Johnny Depp's going to run into trouble with is, like, even if they don't believe that he hit her, I mean, from what they like, things you can hear him doing and like texts and stuff that they do have documented, and she's kind of portraying someone who is being abusive, but not completely, and not completely in physical abusive ways, like not physically abusive, but like mentally and emotionally abusive, which I do think probably, because if you're dating someone who like is like a drug addict and alcoholic and just drunk all the time and angry, and when they get angry just breaks things, I mean, yeah, that's got to be not an easy environment to be in. But I guess that's the trade-off when you marry someone. See, that's the thing, is like a lot of, you know, there's a lot of women out there, and they're always like, they all want like a certain kind of dude, you know, like most women are like, you know, I want like this really rich guy who's going to provide for me and this, and like, you know, famous and this. But, and the thing is, like, those guys usually are a total fucking nightmare. You know what I mean? And like, I think women have an idea of like, yeah, you meet these guys and they're like rich, you know, and then they just do everything for you, and you know, you just buy everything. And it's like, if the best case scenario is that guy's like a total boring fucking chump that you're just gonna, I mean, that's probably the good scenario. But I think most of the time it's just gonna be a total asshole who's fucking so many chicks and is eventually going to replace you when you turn 40, probably even sooner. But around 40, they'll probably be like, yeah, you know what, I'm sick of you. And they just like start dating a 20-year-old, because that's what they can do. So I think that's kind of what, and this brings it around. I think what's going on now that it is working against Amber Heard is she's painting herself as like never doing anything, a little too much, kind of like she's this perfect person who like just encountered this horrible man, and he was just like so abusive and awful, and drank all the time and hit her whenever she like looked at him, and broke her nose every night, and I don't know, just. So, and she just never did anything. She just was trying to help him all the time, and she was scared, and it's like, yeah, really, I don't get the vibe that you like are like the coolest chick, and just you were never at fault. So I think that they're going a little too far that way. Like she's just almost this, innocent doe that was taking advantage of this monster who falls asleep all the time. That's the only thing that I'm finding troublesome is like she's clearly into documenting things, and like there's so little documentation of what she's claiming. It's like all she has is like, yeah, look at this one time he like poured wine in the morning, and like it was too early, and then like he broke the cabinet, or I don't even think he breaks the cabinet, he just kind of slams it. And then look, and then he falls asleep all the time. I give him ice cream and he's asleep. You believe this guy? This is bullshit. What about when he punched you in the nose every night? Yeah, I didn't get any of that. I didn't. My phone wasn't around. But you said he punched you every night. Yeah, he did punch me every night. So why didn't you get the camera ready? I don't know. I just didn't think about it. Yeah, he broke my nose, and my nose was shattered, and I had black eyes and black and blue. Here's a picture of you 2 hours later at a premiere. Your nose looks totally fine. Yeah, makeup. Makeup made your nose not look broken? Yeah, it's really good makeup. You gotta get it. And also, you had makeup on that made your lip not broken up? Yeah. And then I went to church, and then I donated all my money to orphans. You donated it? Yeah. But you didn't give any of it. Yeah, but I told them I would give it to them. But you didn't do it. I know, but I said I would. That's kind of reminds me of like, you ever have someone tell you that they saw something that they were gonna buy for you and they didn't buy it? And they want to like get credit for that. Hey, I saw this jet ski, that I thought you'd like, and I was gonna get it, but then I just didn't get it. Oh, so you didn't do anything? Yeah, but I was gonna get it. I thought about getting it, so you should thank me. I pledged that I was gonna get it, but did you actually donate it to me? No, but I'm pledging that I would, was gonna get it, so you should give me credit for that. You actually owe me. You should actually start paying me for that, but you didn't do anything. Okay, well, I'm gonna sign off. I'm gonna watch the trial again tomorrow, and I'll give my thoughts probably in the next few days. And like I said, please rate and review, or I don't know, just like, thumbs up, and subscribe. Trial and Terrors, Tom McCaffrey. Thank you very much. See you next time.